Right? Um, studying, yeah, studying. Um, an update from yesterday. It went slightly better. However, I saw myself rushing my moment-to-moment application within studying, always after completing one task, rushing myself and really shouting and ordering myself. There's a next task ahead of you. Quickly go do it. And eventually I couldn't keep up with my expectations because I allowed and accepted it and created this sort of burden on myself to fulfill my own expectations. And then at one point I just dropped it and said screw it. And then that's when I stopped studying. So practical self-corrective action would be to simply drop the expectations and complete the points, correct the mistakes I make in studying one by one, breath by breath, to be gentle to myself, not to rush myself, and rather slow down and not pressure myself with time. Yeah. While I was studying, there was this constant fear that I didn't have enough time to study everything for my exams. So this fear of not having enough time is really the justification that justifies myself expecting more from myself than who I already am here, as expecting me to complete studying tasks more quickly and more quickly and more quickly. What else? Yes, from a knowledge perspective to a self-realization point, I am slowly but surely pushing myself into a corner to take more responsibility. And ever since that diarrhea experience and being so one with myself, or more one with myself, I'm realizing that by not doing anything and simply vegging out like becoming a vegetable and not directing myself in any moment, that is already abuse. I don't have to deliberately go and physically abuse a child, let's say, for that to actually abuse, just not acting from a starting point of what is best for all, what would be most practical in this moment, not doing that action based on a resistant feeling is already abuse. And I'm also beginning to realize how this resistant feeling is actually doesn't exist. And it's like a refraction from what is here, where I, in a way, redirect myself to abuse instead of doing what is best for all. And speaking of which, moving on, I was trying to say something from a point of intention, so I'm just gonna drop that. Moving on. What else? I stayed here comfortably in my home again today. Yeah, at one point during today, I experienced sort of pressure to move and to exercise. And this feeling is very familiar because I experienced it in the past, and it was the exact same feeling, this point of feeling uncomfortable with myself and my human physical body unless I go out and tire myself out physically. But trusting that my physical body is actually self-sufficient, I ultimately didn't go and do exercise. Anything else? Yeah, today I feel like I'm cornering myself to take self-responsibility by doing what is best for all. Or I'm saying that from a point of knowledge. doing what is most practical in each moment. Yes, pushing and cornering myself to do what is most practical in each moment and to apply myself here instead of entertain myself with worrying or managing my energetic relationships or using these relationships to generate future playouts that I can play with in my mind, through my mind. And speaking of which, the way I participate in these worries and these mind movies, they operate strikingly similar to the way I would physically watch a TV show or physically watch a movie. The same thing. Which reminds me that of a moment when I was a child thinking, okay, I'm watching this soap opera. How am I able to see two people at once? How is that possible? And how am I supposed to, for example, see two people arguing within a soap opera without me myself being noticed? And all of the camera angles from TV shows and movies they resemble a voyeur that is there but is invisible to the characters and the setting, which is, looking at it again, it's quite bizarre that I do that with myself in my imagination. Aren't I here already? Yeah, really strange. Anything else? No. The main point today is realizing more of the extent of my actual self-responsibility and the actual responsibility I have with each of my actions in each moment. Because it's one thing to say that from a point of knowledge and to actually experience what that means, to actually have responsibility for each one of my actions or each one of your actions. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.